At the dawn of our existence, a captivating narrative emerges, challenging the very essence of what it means to be human. The Stoned Ape Theory cuts through the fabric of our evolutionary history, proposing a radical idea that our leap into consciousness wasn't a slow crawl, but an electrifying jolt sparked by something truly otherworldly: psychedelic mushrooms. Before we dive into the origins of humanity, let's entertain a wild thought. What if the mushrooms at the heart of our discussion aren't from this planet? This sounds unbelievable, but bear with me for a moment. Some intriguing theories suggest that these mushrooms might be more than just organic matter. They could be relics from the stars, carrying messages across the cosmos. Consuming them might just be our gateway to genuine alien communication. In today's world, evolution is no longer just about genetic shifts or natural selection. It's driven by epigenetic forces of writing, theater, art, philosophy, and most obviously, technology. These are the fruits of a mere 1% genetic difference from our primate cousins. Neil deGrasse Tyson once posed a thought-provoking question.
Now, imagine a life form, an alien even, I don't care, some life form that is 1% beyond us in DNA.
Where's that?
That we are beyond the chimp. Their simplest thoughts would be inconceivable to the most brilliant human beings at only 1% difference in DNA. Suppose we were 5%, 10%, 50%.
With that tiny difference from our primate ancestors, we've created the internet, peered into the cosmos with the James Webb Space Telescope, and given birth to artificial intelligence. While I'm not one to scour the skies for UFOs, I'm open to speculation. Consuming a psychedelic mushroom might feel like touching another realm, with many people even reporting hearing a disembodied voice. Is it possible that this is what alien communication feels like? Keep in mind, alien doesn't always mean little green men in flying saucers. Picture this. An unsuspecting ant comes in contact with the spores of a cordyceps mushroom. Soon, the fungus begins to play puppet master. The ant, no longer in control, manipulated to serve a purpose beyond its understanding, is compelled to climb high up in a tree. Once it reaches its peak, the mushroom compels the ant to bite down onto a tree branch to secure its location. Then, the mushroom delivers its final blow, taking the ant's life. From the top of the ant's head, the fungus sprouts, releasing its spores from an elevated vantage point. This is nature's way of ensuring the mushroom's life cycle thrives. But this isn't just a life cycle. It's like the fungus is embedding its own data into the ant. On the other hand, some mushrooms serve as a conduit for a more harmonious form of interspecies communication. While we've been searching the stars for signs of extraterrestrial life, the answer might have been quietly waiting beneath our feet all along. Terence McKenna, a visionary in the world of psychedelics, offered a hypothesis that takes us even further down the rabbit hole. Building on the panspermia theory, which suggests that life, or at least its essential building blocks, exists throughout the universe and is spread via space dust, meteoroids, and comets. McKenna proposes that the spores of these psychedelic mushrooms might also travel across space as a form of galactic intelligence. According to him, these mushrooms could be tools designed to elevate consciousness across the universe. The evidence? The spores of these mushrooms are unlike anything on this planet. Their electron-dense, almost metallic casings make them able to withstand the vacuum of space, freezing temperatures, and resistant to intense cosmic radiation. almost as if they were engineered for interstellar travel. But why? If these mushrooms are intergalactic travelers, what's their purpose? McKenna paints a vivid picture. Imagine an advanced civilization transcending our understanding of reality. If they had the capacity to alter their genetic blueprint, embedding their message into a mushroom might be their masterstroke. These mushrooms, non-evasive and almost immortal, weave a complex underground network, much like our brain's neural pathways. And at their heart is psilocybin, a chemical so rare it feels deliberate, almost as if it's a calling card from another world. Psilocybin stands as one of the rarest anomalies on Earth. A 4-phosphorylated indole that feels less like a quirk of nature and more like a deliberate design. To McKenna, this is the unmistakable signature of extraterrestrial life.
Psilocybin is 4-phosphoryloxy N,N-dimethyltryptamine. What this means is that there is a phosphorus group substituted at the 4 position of the molecule. Now, here's the headline, folks. This is the only 4-phosphorylated indole on this planet. On this planet. Now, if you were searching for extraterrestrial thumbprints on the biology of Earth, you would look for molecules that are unique, that don't have near relatives spread through other life forms. In psilocybin, we have a perfect example of this. It is the only 4-phosphorylated indole known to occur in nature. Nature doesn't work like that, folks. Nature builds always on what has previously been accomplished. So this is a red flag saying at the molecular level, this thing looks like an alien artifact at the molecular level. Now, let's cut to the chase. What happens when you take 30 milligrams of this stuff? What is unique to psilocybin is that overlaid over what I just described is, big surprise, a voice. A voice. Everybody knows this who has to do with this stuff. Gordon Wasson, Richard Schultes, Albert Hoffman. The giants know that this stuff is animate. This is not a drug. It's something which is disguising itself as a drug in order not to spread alarm. There is a voice which speaks to you in the language of your homeland, whether that be Mazatecan or English, and the voice surprises you.
If these mushrooms are indeed here to elevate consciousness across the universe, what role might they have played right here on Earth? This leads us to a theory that rewrites the very roots of human evolution, the Stoned Ape Theory. Envision a time eons ago when our primate ancestors dwelled in the embrace of lush canopies, their diets filled with insects, fruits, and berries. Suddenly, the earth trembles beneath the force of erupting volcanoes and quaking tectonic plates. The Great Rift Valley in Africa bears witness to this upheaval, tearing northern Africa in half, ripping apart the familiar world of our ancestors, and forever leaving a colossal scar on Africa's topography. The protective canopies vanish, casting our ancestors into the unfamiliar terrain below, transforming them from fruitarian insectivores to agile hunter-gatherers. Forced to adapt, they found themselves not just surviving, but evolving. The key to their survival? In this brutal new reality, survival demands more than just fangs, sharp claws, or sheer size and strength. The true weapon for ultimate survival is something far more extraordinary: the power of an expanding mind. This striking expansion in cerebral capacity, often referred to as the missing link, could find explanation in the Stoned Ape Theory. The dance of evolution has always been mysterious. In its intricate steps, one enigma stands out. How did we as humans leap forward in consciousness? After the upheaval of the Great Rift Valley, our ape ancestors, in their constant pursuit of sustenance, would have followed indigenous cattle. These animals not only served as nature's compass, pointing towards life-sustaining water sources, but also shaped the dietary habits of our early relatives, as they would flip their dung patties over looking for grub worms or other sources of nutrients beneath them. As they rummaged through the landscapes trampled by these herds, they would have inevitably come across a range of edibles left in the animals' wake. Among these were the psilocybin mushrooms, sprouting from the nutrient-rich dung of the animals they followed. What began as a desperate search for food soon turned into an unprecedented encounter with the extraordinary. This encounter with these mushrooms expands their consciousness, planting the seeds for self-reflection and cognitive development. As our primate ancestors consumed these mushrooms, their world transformed. Enhanced vision, sharper instincts, these weren't mere side effects. They were the keys to survival, the tools for hunting, and the harbingers for a new way of understanding their environment. Those who embraced these mushrooms found themselves not just surviving, but thriving, outthinking, outmaneuvering, and outlasting their peers. Sexual arousal heightened, reproduction flourished, and their mental faculties expanded into realms previously unimagined. So now we have a species of monkeys eating these mushrooms. They start outthinking the others, outbreeding them too. With more and more of these monkeys consuming psilocybin, evolution starts pushing towards expanded consciousness. Their minds sharpen, instincts heighten, and survival turns into thriving as they outmaneuvered and outlast their peers, setting the stage for the dawn of a new kind of intelligence as evolution begins accelerating in real time. Could this be the missing piece in the grand puzzle of human evolution, an explanation for the sudden leap in brain size and intelligence that has long perplexed scientists and historians? In the world of psychedelics, psilocybin mushrooms and certain other substances hold a unique power. They can reliably induce synesthesia, where tasting words, hearing colors, and visualizing music becomes reality. You can think of these mushrooms as a cognitive fluid for the brain's synapses. Psilocybin promotes neuroplasticity in the brain. Neuroplasticity is the brain's remarkable ability to recognize itself by forming new connections between neurons, essentially allowing us to learn new things and adapt to changes in our environment. Think of it as the brain's way of rewiring itself to better handle whatever challenges life throws at us. This heightened brain flexibility would allow for greater adaptability, enhanced problem solving, and advanced social interactions, potentially giving our primate ancestors the cognitive edge needed for survival and cultural development. And our primate ancestors eating these mushrooms wasn't an isolated incident. It was a relentless cycle, billions of experiences over millions of years. Each encounter with these sacred mushrooms added layers to the evolving human mind, eventually paving the way for the birth of language. Language, a feature distinctly human a bridge between raw sounds and profound meanings, became the ultimate manifestation of synesthesia, a dance of the senses where the brain's architecture dedicated itself to communication. The vast regions of our brains dedicated to language aren't just the product of random chance. They're the lasting imprints of a 2.5 million year psychedelic awakening. These neural constructs are absent in other primates, underscoring language as a uniquely human trait. By understanding the profound impact of these psychedelics, we can get a glimpse of the events that set us apart as human. This explosion of brain growth, fueled by the potent properties of these ancient mushrooms, could hold the keys to unlocking the mystery of human evolution, bridging the chasm of the missing link, and illuminating the ascent of human consciousness and intellectual advancement. These mushrooms altered modes of perception. They promoted neuroplasticity, encouraged self-reflection, and social bonding. Over this vast expanse of time, they became more than just food. They were a tool for survival and a catalyst for creativity. We invented weapons and strategies to hunt animals many times larger than us. When the cold pressed in, we draped ourselves in the skins of these animals. Confronted by darkness, we didn't cower, we tamed fire, lighting up the night. We learned to navigate by the stars, turning the night sky into a map that would guide us across oceans and deserts, expanding our world one step at a time. We discovered plants and minerals not just for food, but for medicine. As we mastered our surroundings, we began to shape our own evolution. This psychedelic influence gave birth to language, culture, and the very essence of what makes us human. Poetry, art, dance, and every form of expression that sets us apart from our primate relatives. These ancient mushrooms didn't just guide survival, they sparked enlightenment and shaped the dawn of human consciousness. Or at least, that's the theory. Yet, today, these mushrooms, which may have played a pivotal role in our evolution, are outlawed almost everywhere on Earth. In a world filled with turmoil, wars raging, riots breaking out, and divisive politics tearing societies apart, it's a concerning reality we live in. Perhaps now more than ever, it's time to reconsider our stance. Maybe it's time to dance with the one who brought us to the party and see if these ancient allies can once again guide us towards a greater understanding and unity.